Hello everyone, and welcome to my very first video. This is Missy, aka Mama Fox, and today I'm going to do a little miniature. It's the revolving food house. You can't really see it because of course they put sticker right on top, but it's a cute room, and got this off of Temu. There's 8 in the series, although I've completed 3, and this one and 2 more. I have 6. The last 2 I cannot get. They do not have them. So I will have an uncompleted series, but I will have 6 of them. So let's see what we have in here. So we have our big bag of everything. It seems like our wood. This is the revolving food house, so we have lots of little food pieces. Looks like a light or so. We have our pieces for our the outside shell around it. I can't think right now. Dust cover. This is the dust cover. I will be putting these on at the end after I've done all 6 of them, because they all have them. So I will not be putting this on in this video or at the end of this video, the completion of this piece, because I will be waiting until they're all completed. Then we have our little instructional book. Actually, this company does a really good job with their instructions. I have issues with some companies and their instructions. And these guys are really good. Like here they give you how the corners meet, which is horrible to try to find out in some of these, but these guys do a pretty good job. Where to place things, everything. So yes, I like them. And then let's see, we have of course our little ruler and tweezers that I stockpile but don't use. I don't know why I stockpile them, but I do. And I just tuck them away to probably never be seen again. And then we have our cutouts. Now these I like, they're not a full sheet, so big posters, so they're not too hard to handle. I'm going to simply make sure I get that number there. I'm simply going to cut them down into fourths so that I can handle them better. While they're sitting, I have kind of a limited workspace, so I need to be careful on how big of items I have so that I can maneuver around them. So I'm just going to cut, and then, you know, not only just stacking them, but when I'm using them, trying to cut out pieces, I don't want to have to move around big, huge pieces of paper. So let me just cut these up real quick. And yeah, there we go. This has got some pretty cute stuff. So let's get into our little baggie here. Oh, I actually almost opened it quickly. Sometimes I have trouble with these. Okay, so I know what this is. This is to go around our base. So I'll show you. I just keep a little Dollar Tree Tupperware kind of thing on hand, because I know I will lose pieces if I just try to set them around here. So this is an easy way for me to keep track. This is just, okay, so let me talk about this one. This is where our light and our battery compartment come in, and it comes with, oh, I don't know what that paper's for, but all of them come with some sort of a sandpaper. These kits come with just a little paper. Now, do as instructed, not do what I do. And when you take the wood out, you should sand them down, the little notches. I, however, don't, because I cannot stand the feel of sandpaper. Now, some of them have little files. I'm a little bit better with those, but I'm not consistent. So this I toss. And then their little tape paper to wrap up your wires. Yeah, I've never been able to make this work. It doesn't stick very good. It doesn't roll. It just, for me, it doesn't work. So this also for me goes in the trash. What I have found, skinny electrical tape. Yes, it was a little bit of an investment, like something I had to buy other than a kit, but I can actually tape up my wires. And that's important. So I do use electrical tape. I don't know what this little piece is. We'll get there. But then there's the battery kit. This one, instead of a single lights, it has the light, the wires with, looks like 3 bulbs on it. So we will set that up here for the end. And then let's see. So we have little doodads, some little twine, some little flowers. So what I do is I will just put them in this little compartment here because my fingers don't like to reach into the baggies. I'm trying to get one little thing out. So if I put them in here, I'm able to just use my tweezers if I need to or whatever and pull them out. And then one more little baggie, and it looks like this is the food pieces. Now these are really cool. I've done other ones like sushis and stuff like that. Lemons are pretty popular. I'm going to dump them out too, but I'll grab one. So, oh, these are kind of hard. Oh, that's a leaf. Oh, let me figure out my camera. So it's a little leaf, and what it is, and then you cut them because they're like almost like a clay, pre-made. So, there's the lemon. I've had the lemon in many of them, and they're pretty cute. Okay, I've got to figure out my lighting. Sorry about that. This is, like I said, my very first one, so I don't quite know what I'm doing. Oh, we have a bit more. Oh, this is the cardstock. Okay. So my first 2, they had just the piece of cardboard plain like that, and then paper things that I had to glue on and then cut out. And these last 2, thankfully, have just printed them on the cardstock for me. So then I just have to cut them out when the time comes. So we'll tuck that, and then, so these are our wood pieces. Looks like we're going to be creating a few things, some stools, I think, some little bar stools. So we'll tuck that up, and then, oh, we already lost one. That's okay. This whole thing here is for our base. They're standard with this set. They're all the same. I know what to do, and then we've got some other wood here. So. Alright, so I will take my little bowl here and just tuck it to the side. Move all my baggies. Ooh, if I don't throw them. Did want to show you real quick kind of my tools. So, you don't need a lot to start with. You obviously need a kit. I've kind of evolved. I have a cutting mat. I would suggest you have something that you can cut on. My desk is wood with metal, and then I have silicone mat. So I did not want to cut through my silicone mat. I just got this one at the Dollar Tree. It's decent. It does its job. It's just not very big. I already had this one from years and years ago. It's just, I don't know why I stack them. It just kind of evolved that way. I don't need to, obviously. It just has done this way. Over here, so I would suggest you have a X-Acto knife. I actually have 2. I use one for cutting out the little wood pieces because they're notched, and sometimes I have popped them before without cutting and I've broken them, and that's a bitch. So I've learned some of them you can pop, some of them don't force, so I will use one blade because it's going to get duller faster on the wood, and then I use a second one for my paper, for my actual, you know, the paper cutting, so it stays a bit sharper. You can pick X-Acto knives up. This one was just from the dollar. No, this one was from, oh no, these. I have them everywhere, you guys. Yeah, these don't have blades in them, but I got them at the dollar store. You can pick them up easy, Dollar Tree. This one came with a kit, actually. I was quite surprised. And this one, my dad for Christmas got me a little X-Acto kit. with 3 different size Ecto handles and blades. So, because he knows I use them a lot. But I also have tweezers. Now, I personally like the tilted ones. I had this from my diamond art kits. I use these a lot, and they're pointed. So I use these a ton. My biggest problem is that I will get glue buildup on the edges and forget to clean them, and then go to pick something up and have it stick or flick off of there. So when they get separated, I just file them down. Ooh, I probably need to do that soon. I'll file them and then squeeze them together. Flashlight seems silly. I use it for 2 things. One, I have a tendency to, even though I work over a workspace, I drop things. And it's just my hands. It is what it is. So it's dark under my desk. I need the flashlight to go dig around and find what I've lost. 2, sometimes, like, to look inside little, these are small, you know, small. Sometimes you just need a flashlight. Anyways, scissors, obviously, cutting whatever you need to cut. Scissors. I do have wire cutters. These do have, this one's a pretty thick wire, so I don't know if technically you need wire cutters. I just find it much easier to use them. I had them from my jewelry making days, so this was not an expense that I created. Excuse me. Created for myself with doing the miniature kits. Is something I had and I utilize. Last thing I want to talk about, oh no, a little magnifier. I need to get a better one, but it works at the time. Last thing I want to talk about is your glue. Now this is something I did not think about when I first started, and I just had Elmer's white glue. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Doable, but not easy. Let me just say that. So I have 2 different glues that I use. I have Aleene's Tacky Glue. Let me give a shout out to Daniel Builds. He is on YouTube, and I learned my glue status from him. I went looking for some help on a kit that I was creating one time, and I found him, and he's got a wonderful channel, tons of builds, miniatures, wooden 3D puzzles. He's great. Go check him out, Daniel Builds. And awesome. So he's turned me on to Aleene's Tacky Glue. Now, I don't like it in this bottle because it's one of those cut spouts, and I get it everywhere because you can never cut a tiny little hole, right? So what I have chosen to do, I put it in one of these I just got from the Dollar Tree. Now I use these sometimes when I'm spreading on bigger pieces of wood. I can open this just a little bit and then kind of put this on the wood and smear it so it doesn't like glob up. But the real reason I have this is because this is my bottle of choice. This is the little tiny precision point. I got this off of Amazon, a couple bucks. It wasn't much. But I can't go from this bottle to this bottle. I just can't make it work. It goes, gloops everywhere. It pops out. It just, so I've learned, go from here, and then I put it in here, and about halfway filling it up, I put in just a couple of drops of water. That way it'll come out of the bottle. Otherwise it's so thick. And then from here, I can put it into here, which I just did last night. And then I leave them on their sides because this is very thick glue. And if I were to go from straight up to try to tip it down, it's going to take forever to get down. So I just leave them on their sides right here. Works for me. And then second is super glue. I didn't realize super glue. Super glue, I use this actually quite a lot. I like the crazy glue. For me, it's cheaper. And it has the brush. That is the important part, is that little brush for me, because I can't just put a drop. I learned the hard way. So I get the brush. I've tried a couple others with the brush. I like this one the best, the crazy glue. The only thing is about halfway through, because you're screwing it on and off so much, the little brush will come detached from inside the handle. So to solve that, I just don't tighten it 100%. I just kind of do a loose tight on that after a few times. It doesn't evaporate and it allows me to not break that brush off. I do have one other thing that I use, and I use this, it's UV resin with the UV light. Now, yeah, I have used Bondic in the past. Bondic is great, but it leaks out of the pen, and it leaks constantly. So I'm gonna give this one a try. I'll be, not 100% happy just with the fact that it was also one of those cut. No, it wasn't a cut. It was just, it's too big. I can't put this directly onto my miniatures. And I use this for the wires because you can't really super glue wires. You can white glue them. You can definitely use this, although it takes forever to dry. And my very first one, I sat for like half an hour holding wires. So, use this on the wires, hit it with the UV, it hardens up, and then it holds your wires in place. So, all right. Wow, I didn't expect to do that. I thought we were just going to jump in, but just wanted to get that out of the way so that way nobody had a ton of questions. If anybody had questions about what I use, why I use it, there we go. Okay, so let's get started. Yeah, this is gonna be cute, guys. It's gonna be so adorable. Okay, so this is gonna start out a lot like the other ones. We're going to start our base, and that is going to be this piece of wood and our flooring here. So let me get my paper knife out. Now, when I first started, I used a ruler for all my straight edges, and I highly suggest that, especially if you have an unsteady hand or you're new to this. I still make mistakes sometimes, but I do choose to freehand. I've gotten pretty good at it, but not always. Yeah, I'll have a little extra on that one, but that's okay. We'll trim it up. Just take your time, even with your ruler. And if you're going to use a ruler, I went through quite a few plastic ones because I would cut into them or scrape pieces off. And the little ones they give you, these little rulers are, you know, just sorry, just super thin plastic. It's doable. You can sit that down there and trace, you know, if need be. A couple of my little kits have come with metal rulers, still the small little centimeter ones, but they're metal, so a little easier. I did end up buying in the beginning just a nice metal ruler with the cork on the back, so it kind of lifts it so you're not right on your paper, you can see your lines. This helped me a lot. This helped me realize, you know, how to hold. It sounds silly because you hold a X-Acto knife like a pen or a pencil, but you can twist that blade and it'll go off course so fast. So the ruler did help me learn kind of how to hold my blade, so that now I can just kind of whip through them and get that done. So, there we go. Just gonna tuck that back. My little trash can is over here to the right. Don't think I'm just checking stuff on the floor. We're gonna cut out our little notch. Notches, at the edges, I will cut out circles, holes for wires. I will wait till I have them on the wood and then use the wood as my guide. These ones aren't too bad. Whoop, okay. It's that corner because I have something on my blade. There we go. Okay. All right. So, we want to make sure we have the notch in the correct spot according to the book, so that way we don't put the paper on the wrong side. Trust me, I've done this before. So we want the notch down and to the right, and then we are going to put our paper on top of there. Okay, so let's get a little bit of, come on, didn't open enough. There we go. Now if you just do a bead of glue on here, you may see it under the paper. That's why I kind of smoosh it. Now there is one, if you watch any other builders, they may use one that does not have paper, can't think of the, give issues with paper. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But I've not tried it myself, but I've watched plenty of people do it, and it leaves lots of strings. Like strings, and I cannot stand that. One of my kits, oh, I had a film on there. Okay, so you'll see me do this a lot. I have a little bit of glue, right? It's just white glue. Just rub it in and then rub it off. I do that quite a bit. So sometimes I'll be like, oh, if you see me do that, I'm just rubbing glue off. So just line it up, make sure your notch is lined up, your edges are lined up, and then I like to pick mine up and kind of make sure I'm even, my notch is there, and then I will hold one side, because I've done this before where I just go to smooth it out and I pull it. So I've learned to hold one side and then just smush it down and out towards the edges, because it'll move that glue around. And then turn it over and give it a good smush. Now this is good. It's the Aleene's Tacky Glue, so it, especially with paper, it will adhere very quickly. Yep. Yeah, I have a little bit of distortion. I got a little bit heavy right there. I can see a line, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Weirdly enough, although I am a perfectionist, I don't have to be perfect on these kits. Okay, so now we're going to set that aside, and we're going to pull out A3 and A1. So here I'm going to pick up my other X-Acto knife, and I like to keep this one kind of tucked in a little lid. This one has two little bird handles, and this one only has one. That I can tell the difference, but sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I don't want to mix them up. So I'll just go in. Sometimes you can hear it snap right away, and sometimes not. And then it's going to pull my blade out. Okay, make sure your blade is tight. Now, it did come out, so okay. Now see, these ones have been pretty good. There's not really a burr on the edge. If there had been, like I said, don't do as I do what I say. You should sand these down, but I will just take my blade and run it across there and make sure that that is flat. So I kind of nicked it a little. Okay, and then we need two of the little A4s. All right. Oh, let go. Let go. Okay. Perfect example. I don't know how close I can get. Got just a little bit of a piece that came from the holder part stuck on there. I just run my blade across the edge, make sure it's flat so you don't cut into the wood. That's how I do it. But again, probably not as correct as should be. Okay. I do have one other little piece that I use. My dad made this for me. It's just a little jig, 90-degree angles. I need a new one because This has like some glue built up so it won't lay flat on this end, and this was just scrap wood so it won't come off. I have to use this side and it's a little dinged up, but that's okay, it will work for now. So what I'm gonna do, this one needs to go on top of this one, which again, this is shown in the book very well. So I will put my top piece in, put some glue on the edge of my inside piece. This is why I like this precision tip, because if I tried to put a line of glue like that using anything else, it would have been a mess. So I'm just going to make sure everything's flat, 90 degrees, and then hold it. It still takes a few seconds, not as long as regular glue, but I'm going to take a little A4 and I'm going to, so the face is going to go on one side, and this is where my fingers bobble because I should have used my tweezers. The edge is going to go on the other piece, so I want glue on that edge too. I just stuck my finger in the glue. Dang it, Missy. Come on. Okay, we're just gonna, those little pieces sometimes are a booger. Okay, just get that in there, lined up, flush. I know you can't see it, I'm sorry. It's in there though. And this is the fun part of miniatures, waiting for glue to dry. Well, at least not dry, but at least get tacky. Yay. We can scooch it a little. I'll put the other A4 in a second. And then start getting our next piece. Ouch, I just stuck myself. Excuse me. The good, the bad, and the ugly here, folks. That's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get all of my greatness, like, damn, that looks so good, and you're gonna get all of my ouch, I just stuck myself. So I am who I am, and that's all that I can be. So those ones came out pretty good. Maybe just a touch on that edge. Oh, that edge too. Yeah, there we go. Take out our last two fours. A4, sorry. These ones came out. If you ever find that you can't get through this is pretty thin wood. Sometimes they're pretty thick, and you'll go and push and put, and you can't break through. Just turn it over and break through. So you go half and half. So much easier. Okay, so let's leave that one there for just a sec. And let's do, what am I doing now? A2 and A3. Yes, always good to read the instructions. Not only just read them, understand the instructions. That's, I'll be 100% honest. Sometimes I read the instructions, but I don't get it. Like, huh? Some of these instruction books, they're okay, so they're from China, or where, I'm pretty sure from China. Yeah, and so sometimes they, you know, lost in translation, the saying. Yeah, it's so true. So pictures are good, but sometimes they don't even give you pictures. So make sure you're, like, just take your time. Make sure you're understanding what it's trying to tell you to do before you just start. I have done it where I've just been frustrated, and I'm like, oh, it's fine, this will work. And then like 3 steps later, I'm having to tear apart so much work because I did something wrong, because I didn't understand it. So yeah, make sure you understand what they want you to do. So we're just going to glue up little A4 here. Using my little, this is why I like these little pointed tweezers. Oh, see, I put the glue on the wrong edge. Dang it. And that was just me being in a hurry. That's all that was. Okay. Again, that's what I'm talking about. That is me just pulling the glue off of my fingers. Okay, release. Okay. Oh, I must have had a little extra glue there. Okay, so now on the little ends, we want to put this little A4 right just on the bottom part of this bottom edge. So I'm going to put it on the edge. And what it is these are going to be the little brace for, these two sets of woods are going to become a square, which is our base. And how this internal little piece is holding those, helping support those two together. These ones I'm going to stick on the end when they're going to go and help support the other piece. Okay, there's one. Now let's, yeah, this side, let's put it, the other one on. Whoop. Wish I had a better way to show you this, guys, but I can't do it backwards. So unfortunately, my little form kind of blocks, but I apologize for that. Just make sure everything's squared up, because if it's not squared, when we go to stick it to that piece, we'll have an issue. Okay, so now we want to notice that one of these has a little hole in it, and that is for our battery switch. These ones are nice. You don't have to pull the battery pack out, turn them on from the battery pack. They have a little switch that we're going to stick through this hole. So we want to make sure, according to our directions, it's on the bottom. And then, so see how this one's hanging out here? Now it's going to go and butt up against this one, against here. So it's going to lay flat and connect it. So it's not just the one little edge, it's got a bit more. So we're going to just glue up the edge of our board, and then the big flat surface of that little A4. We're going to do the same thing with this one. We want to do them with the ones that have the A4 on them, so they can help connect. Okay, and then you're just going to line them up. Make sure they're level. Make sure that little A4 in there is pushed in against the other, against this piece you're adding. Yeah, that one was not lined up right. So you want to double check everything. Make sure you're square. Square there. We're not square there. There we go. Hold, hold, hold. Are you still squared over here? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Oh. Sorry, I moved it. I moved it. It was my fault. My fault. It does get tacky pretty quick, but you still have to be a bit careful. Stuff will move until it's like completely dry. So once I'm sure I'm where I want to be, just kind of, now be careful because you can so take this out of square. I've done it, well, I've only done 3, and I think I've probably done it 3 times. So make it a diamond. We don't want to make it a diamond. So now I'm not gonna, before I let this set all the way up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna place our floor in, the one that we papered already. And guess what? They're gonna sit on those little tiny A4s, those little pieces. Yep, that's where they're gonna sit, so they're sunk down. So I'm just gonna put my, that's the other thing, because I leave it open so much, I don't put this lid on every time. I should, yeah, I should, but it is a pain knowing I'm just gonna use it again. The only thing is you will get like a little hard buildup on there, and then it won't come out. So just, no biggie, just wipe it off. I do that all the time. So going to just put our glue on these little A4 pieces down here in all 4 corners. Now I don't think, and so you want to make sure, so our little hole is here, and then we want to make sure that the notch in our floor is, it doesn't match, but that it's on the same side, okay? Now I don't think those little 4 spots are quite enough, so I just kind of go in and hit the center just a little bit with some of this glue. I just want to give those center pieces a little bit more support. I don't think I did this on the first one, and it kind of bowed a little bit, especially, you know, around these, around the notch. I just put a little bit around the notch. So then make sure your notch is on bottom. And now, and see, something's not perfect because I can't fit it in. That's why I did not let it dry 100%. I just let it get tacky because I needed to kind of push one a little bit out so I could, what are, yeah, I was below the little peg in there, so it wasn't allowing me to. So now I just turn it on to make sure I'm on top of those little A4 pegs. This glue will dry clear, but I still just kind of, if I see any obvious spots, I will just kind of wipe them off. Use the edge of my tweezers to just make sure that that paper is down there good. This corner's, I need to trim. Okay, there we go. That corner lifted a little bit off of my wood base, and then it hit the edging, the edges here, and didn't want to sit flat. But as I can see, there's dotted lines here, so I'm going to be putting I'm going to be putting our walls there. This is actually the back, so I'm not concerned about that corner lifting at all, because it's going to be held down by walls eventually. All right, so the next step is to, and I know it, but I'm just going to go by the book. We are going to get that little piece of paper that I said was for the outside out. And I knew right where it was because I had it in my book, in a little bowl already. and then we're just move that away. Okay. So we need to measure 18.1 centimeters across, and then two 1.9s down. So I will pull out my big ruler because I did this before. The small rulers are only 15 centimeters. And I was doing it before and just going 15 and then moving it. But I screwed up on one, like, I don't even know how I screwed it up so bad. It was bad. It was like, instead of going the 15 and then 3.1, it was like I went 15 and then like 0.1 or something, or 1.1, something crazy, where thank goodness, luckily it ended up being around on the back side, but I had to like piece together the leftovers of these to get them. It was a mess. So, yes, and make sure you're level across. I'm going to go 18.1. Give it a mark, and then drop down. Oh, come on. 18.1. Now this paper, I got lucky. It's well, this, it is raised on this one, but I kind of like the back side anyways better looking. So whatever side you need to use, mark on the other side. Okay. I think my first one I didn't do that, and you can see pen marks. So either use a pencil that you're not going to notice, or just simply mark on the back. Why does that not look even? Like, not at all even. Well, that's right. Okay, well, measured twice. We did. Cut once. Okay. Ooh. Okay, and now we're going to measure 1.9. So we're going to go 1.9. It's right here. And then 1.9 is right here. So we're going to have a little bit of leftover. Not enough for a third one, which we don't need a third one. But when you go to measure the other side, make sure you measure from the same side down. One of them I almost started to measure up this way, and I went, whoa, 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 whoa. So measure same side. Make sure the same side is the top. So 1.9. And then 1.9. All right, now I'm just going to find my marks. And now if you were going to use your ruler with your X-Acto knife, now would be the perfect time to cut. Just zip down it. But yeah, no. I'm just gonna draw my line. I need to figure out what's going on with my. These are my favorite pens, but this one is like getting globby at the end. On the ink, I don't know what's going on. You also don't necessarily have to use a X-Acto knife. You can use scissors. I just choose not to use the scissors only for the fact that I've never been lucky with scissors. I can never tell where it's cutting. Does it cut on this side or that side? I'll use them sometimes when on heavier materials, but I personally like the X-Acto knife. Now I can do it this way. It's more comfortable for me, kind of coming down like this, but I will get in the way. My shadow will get in the way of my line. So even though it's not quite as comfortable, I've learned, because my lamp is here, I've learned I need to cut kind of straight across. So let's just take our time. This would be much easier with scissors, but like I said, I never know how to get it directly on the line. And you want to hold your paper down nice and tight. You know, you don't want it to flop around at all. Oh, I had a feeling. Okay, so that's the small one. So we're just gonna, I'll toss it over to the side for now. When I get this part completed and I don't have any issues, I'll go ahead and toss it. It's not enough for me to keep. I do keep extras that are significant. And if you guys would like, in another video, I can show you my storage, which I'm actually kind of proud of because it's taken me a while, about 6 months. I've only been doing miniatures for 6 months, and I've done a few. I've done 10, 11 full houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3D wooden puzzles, 2 metal wooden puzzles, or 2 metal 3D puzzles, and then this is my 4th little house, so little room. This is room basically. When I say house, I've done the full houses. These are just the rooms. Okay, so now we're going to take our paper and make sure, again, I inked on this side. So I'm going to make sure it's facing in. So I'm going to wipe my glue off. And I'm just going to go kind of around the edges. It doesn't have to be perfect because, you know, if it's stuck in one place, it'll help it stick in another. That's why I like this precision. I can just kind of glide on a line and it's not too thick. And then I'll just kind of do a few little dots in here, especially around the little hole there, so that way it just lays down good. And because I've done it before, I know that it's going to go onto a second side. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue on my second side. I didn't know that the first time, so I just did each side individual. And that's fine, even if you know if you want to do each side individual. That's perfectly fine. That's a great thing about the miniatures. You can do things how you want to do them. That's why when I explain something, I said, this is how I do it, because it may not be how the book says to do it, or it may not be how you would do it, or how other people have explained to do it, but it's how it works for me. So, oh, excuse me. So I would suggest experimenting a little bit, seeing what works for you. Okay, so now we're going to make sure this is flat on the ground. It's the easiest way instead of holding it up and trying to make sure it's all level. Just tap this on the ground. Come in right at your corner here. Sure, at the corner, and it is going to stick up over the edge, over the top, and that's how we want it. So just make sure it's flat to your table, and then just kind of give it a nice smooch. Smooch it in and turn it, crease that corner, crease that corner, crease that corner. Otherwise it will bubble. And then on one side or the other of the corner, your paper will have a little bit of air bubble in it. So crease that corner. And then just make sure you're at the bottom and just give it a good rub. Now according to the book, there's a 0.2 centimeter little lip here, and it's going to fold over and go over our top piece of wood. And I'm only doing this way because I have, like I said, artistic preference. I've done this, and so the first time I folded it, I pre-folded it with the ruler, and then for me, just to save it all till the end works. But I am going to cut down diagonally my corner here, just that top little 2.2 centimeters or 2 millimeters, so that one lays flat and then the other lays flat. There is a bit, so I was flush on that one, but there's still a little bit left over. I'm just going to, instead of folding it, I'm just going to trim it. I'm just going to lay my X-Acto knife flat against that board, trim it off. I don't need any extra. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and glue up these two edges, just like we did the other two. Run that bead of glue. Again, if you liked the glue that doesn't bubble up on the paper, then you know, this would be a good place to use it. I don't like the strings. They get everywhere. That's the same reason I don't like hot glue. The strings get everywhere. And then I feel like I've got itchies or spiders crawling all over me all like the rest of the day. And that's not a fun feeling. So I would just rather avoid it altogether. Just smack the rest of that glue down. And again, this does not have to be perfect. Okay, so I've written on this side, so it's going to go in, and okay. So I'm going to make sure it's flat on the ground, on the table, whatever, wherever you're working. Get it on that corner good. And just walk it to the end, and then smoosh it a bit. And again, crease that corner, crease that corner, crease that corner. I have not creased that corner in the past, not knowing, and I get done, and then I look, and I think oh yeah, I'm all squished down, and then I look back, and there's this like bloop, like this, the paper will be kind of buckled out. See, it's almost doing it right here. Yep, I didn't crease it close enough. Dang it. Okay, so make sure you've got all the air out, you've pushed it, and then now come down. There we go. Okay. I did have it creased right, I just didn't have it smoothed right. Smooth that out. I'm going to cut that little 45 at that 45 degree, that little 2 millimeters. I have a tiny, tiny bit of extra here. I'm just going to take that off real quick. I didn't take it all off. What happened? There we go. Just that little bit. So now, oh, sorry, my throat is dry. Okay. So now we want to fold over this top 0.2 centimeters or the 2 millimeters the drawer. And you want to push it down really pretty good and get that nice crease along that corner. To start with one side, and then make sure that corner is kind of laying flat, so as you lay the next one over it, it goes over top of it, and just press down that next ledge. Now, either I cut and measured wrong, or I pasted wrong. I don't think I pasted wrong. Maybe I'm not quite covering on this side, like almost at all. But honestly, I'm okay with that, because this doesn't bother me that it's not. I mean, come on, this is wood colored and this is wood. I mean, it's not that big of a deal to me. If it was for you, and yeah, it was that whole piece, because it came around the corner, and it's still very, very little, and then I get better and better at the end. So I don't know if I cut the center a little short. I don't think oh yeah, I did. You can see I have a little bit of an overhang on the bottom. So I started out good, and then I kind of dipped a little bit, and then I ended up good. So right in that center. Technically, if you want, you can peel it off and restick. I'm not gonna, because I'm okay with that. And that's just that's your preference, you know. And like I said, I love artistic license, and that's the artistic license I'm taking right now. I don't care. So then Just continue around until you've got them all laid down. Especially those corners. You want those corners to lay good. Okay. So now, I'm going to come in with my precision, and just stick a little bit of glue on that ledge. Right. And I'll tell you, this is thicker paper, so it's not just going to lay down and hold. I'm just saying. But I do want it to get a little bit down so I can get those corners. Whoop. And, yep, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get it all. Bloopers and such. I don't even think I need to glue the edge because there's like nothing there. I just stuck my finger in glue. That's all that did. So now I'm going to add some glue because this one has a bit. Did I glue? Okay. No. Got one more to go. Get those corners down and over top of each other. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just make sure that the paper that is on top is mostly folded down. I know it's not stuck yet, but then I'm going to turn it over. Excuse me. I'm going to turn it over and put a little bit of pressure and stick it so it will settle. It will stay. All right, give that just a second. Wow, we're already at an hour, or just about. Our next steps are going to be the walls. We're going to put the lights on. We're going to do some pasting. So I think I'm going to end it today. We do have our base. We have it completed. So now we're ready to just start assembling the items that are going to go on our base. And we're going to start next time with the 2 walls. We will build these up and our little roof and see how it goes. So thanks for joining me, guys. I know it didn't seem like we did a lot today, but we did. This is important. This is the base structure for the whole thing. So thanks for joining me. If you want me to make another one, if you want me to continue, leave me a comment or hit a like so I know well, probably do it anyways because I'll just do it for myself. That's okay though. All right, but anyways, hope to see you again on the next one. Bye.